Hi there, welcome to episode 6 of the Eagle Insight Podcast. This week's episode, the leadership mindset. The largest difference between average leaders and great leaders is their mindset. Your mindset is the mental lens that dictates what information you take in and how you use it, and how you make sense and navigate an everyday situation. It's made up of your attitudes, your beliefs, your expectations. Your mindset drives you, what you do, and the decisions you make, and why. Since your mindset determines how you process things, making decisions and how you execute them, it's probably pretty important to figure out what's contributing to yours. It impacts your relationships and the culture of your organization and every decision that you make in your life. So what do you think shapes people's mindsets? Now, there's a lot of things that go into it. Your biases, your beliefs, and your assumptions, your experiences, your education, your culture, society. All these things help shape your mindset, but most people don't take the time to figure out where those biases, beliefs, and assumptions come from, or to examine the experiences that shape their mindset. Look, a strong leadership mindset could include emotional courage, some confidence, optimism, forward thinking, being humble, being decisive, ownership, accountability, resourcefulness, honesty, transparency. Those can be your mindset if you cultivate the biases, beliefs, assumptions, experiences that you have towards that end, towards being forward thinking, towards being decisive, towards being accountable. When something new happens, you have an opportunity to examine that happening in your response to it to start to shape the mindset that you work with every single day. So what are some of the characteristics of your mindset? Where do they come from? How are they shaping your decision? Now, a lot of people are stuck kind of in a fixed mindset, right? A fixed mindset, I think, says people don't change. And so you expect the same things out of people all the time, and sometimes they'll surprise you by showing something different. You think you can't change. A fixed mindset expects things to stay the same and are disappointed when they're not. On the other side of that coin, and the other mindset choice between a fixed mindset is a growth mindset. Growth mindset suggests that people can change, including you. If you are stuck in a fixed mindset and something in the world changes around, the market conditions change, something at work is different, that becomes very stressful. But if you have a growth mindset and you understand that you can change with a changing market, you can change with a changing environment, you can grow, you can then grow yourself and you can grow your business. Stuck in a fixed mindset or adopting a growth mindset. How often does this come up? When new information comes in, we're going to have to change everything. Or when something comes in and you say, we're going to have to change a few things. It's going to be hard, but think about the upside. Those are two very different perspectives about how you're going to go about dealing with whatever is changing in your life. A second aspect is whether or not you have a choice, whether or not you have a performance or a learning mindset. In a performance mindset, you say, I just want to be seen as competent. I just don't want to screw up. This is the kind of mindset where people will say, I'm just going to do the bare minimum to get by. When I first joined an organization as its leader a few years ago, I asked the leadership group there, I said, how well are we delivering on our promise? How good are we? Are we delivering our product and service that we think we are? And everyone says, yeah, we're doing great. We're doing awesome. We're great. I said, that's awesome. I am glad to hear that. How do we know we're doing well? And the answer came back, well, if we weren't doing well, somebody would probably yell at us. That's not an environment for growth, and that's not an environment for constant learning. What it is an environment for the status quo. It's a fixed mindset, but it's taken to the performance level. I just want to be seen as being minimally competent, and I just don't want to screw up. As long as we keep doing what we're doing and we don't get yelled at, then everything is fine. On the other hand, there's a learning mindset. There's a learning mindset that says that if I'm motivated to continuously incorporate new competence, I want to improve my competence. I want to be better at what I'm doing now, and I want to master new things. What a great place to work when you have leaders throughout the organizations who are consistently looking to improve and are motivated to increase competence, master new things. That's a learning mindset versus a performance mindset. Another dichotomy in your mindsets is whether or not you have an implemental mindset or a deliberative. In an implemental mindset, say, I just want to implement the decisions. I want to implement those directions and guidance that I get from other people. I'm just going to do what I'm told. That's an implemental mindset. And it's fine. You can get along by just implementing what other people are telling you to do. Just follow the standard operating procedure, follow the algorithm, follow the recipe. Or a deliberative mindset. I'm open to new ideas and I want to think and act optimally. I want to improve. I want to incorporate new technologies and techniques. I want to take ideas from people within our organization who see a better way. That's a deliberative mindset rather than an implemental. I want to lead the improvement, deliberative mindset. I want a fourth one, prevention versus a promotion. In the prevention mindset, I want to avoid losses. And I want to prevent problems. There's nothing wrong with avoiding losses or preventing problems. I like that, particularly when my safety guys are prevention mindset. But when I'm looking for my leaders to help the organization grow and keep up with the changing marketplace, I know I'm a promotion mindset. I'm focused on winning and gains, and I prioritize specific goals and make progress towards those specific goals. That's a promotion mindset, prevention versus a promotion. So I'm looking for leaders then who have a growth mindset, a learning mindset, deliberative and promotion mindsets. Do those come naturally? Well, they could, or you as a leader can be reflective about what biases and assumptions and worldviews are shaping your decision making and figuring out, are you stuck in a fixed mindset, in a performance, in an implemental, and a prevention mindset? Are you playing defense? Are you doing the bare minimum? Or do you engage with a growth mindset? Are you constantly learning? Are you a deliberative mindset and promotion? Those mindsets can be cultivated when you catch yourself being preventive. You say, hold on, what if we focused on winning instead of just not losing? What if we are open to new ideas and we don't immediately see why somebody's new idea won't work? Now, those four mindsets come out of a Harvard Business Review study that was published in 2020. Those four mindsets affect leaders' ability to engage with others and to navigate more successfully and perform in their leadership roles more effectively. So having a growth mindset and a learning mindset and a deliberative and promotion mindset is tremendously important if you're going to constantly improve your organization. The fact is, if you're not improving your organization, then you're stagnating. And in a changing environment, when new technologies are being introduced every day, when new techniques, higher connectivity rates, and people are moving in and out of the marketplace faster than ever, having a fixed mindset is going to leave you behind. Now, mindsets isn't just about those four things, right? It's about how do you take in and process information in a way that's going to keep you out in front of the world around you. How are you going to beat the competition? How are you going to be first to market? How are you going to compete against other people who are trying to outdo you in that marketplace? If they have a growth mindset and you have a fixed mindset, you are going to be left behind. Now, your mindset, how you cultivate that, has a lot to do with, believe it or not, your ego. Now, your ego has two aspects to it. There's like this positive ego and there's this negative ego. Now, negative ego wants to keep you safe. That's the one that starts to generate the negative self-talk. The positive ego, well, that can be dangerous too. It is the one that gets you to do the extra thing, to come out forward and says that you are the best. Now, if you think about from an evolutionary standpoint, why did we develop these egos? And kind of love the allegory of if you think of yourself as a caveman, which our ancestors were those that developing the characteristics that we have as humans. The negative ego is the one that's going to tell you, hey, it's not safe. It's not safe to go after that woolly mammoth. You can't take down the mammoth. You better just go hide. You're not really that good at this. You're really not a great hunter. That's that negative ego that's keeping us safe. Now, the positive ego is that voice in your head that you say, you can do that. Absolutely, you can take down a mammoth. Now, either one of those in an extreme is pretty rotten, right? The hunter that won't go after the mammoth because his negative self-talk says you're never going to be able to do it is probably going to starve to death. On the other hand, the one that has this super positive ego can get onto arrogance and thinking that they're better than they really are. They're going to start writing checks that their bodies can't cash. They're the ones that are going to go out after the mammoth all by themselves. So what we want to do is regulate that ego so that, yes, there's some confidence. There's confidence that we can do things and we don't need to listen to the negative self-talk, but enough of that negative ego that keeps us out of trouble. Yes, you could take down the mammoth, but it's very dangerous. So maybe bring some friends along. That would be a regulated ego. Now, why do I bring this up when I'm talking about leadership mindset? Is because your ego plays into how you show up as a leader, and your ego is part of your mindset. If you have a growth mindset, if you have a promotion mindset, and you are prepared to stand in front of the crowd and lead them, and your negative voices keep pulling you back, it's going to be difficult for you to accomplish what you want to as a leader. Regulating your ego goes to your mindset. When you get your ego in check, when you know it's telling you to do things that you can't accomplish, or it's holding you back from accomplishing that you really can, you've got to find that balance in between there. And that's by listening intently, not to what the voices are saying, but which voice is talking. Play it safe. That ego helps drive us to the left or right of the chart of fixed growth, performance, learning, implemental, deliberative, preventive, or promotion mindsets. Now, a lot of that comes from our biases and beliefs that we gathered over the years as we were growing up. But if we don't stop to wonder why we picked up those mindsets, why did we pick up that bias? Where did that bias come from? There are times when our biases really start to overtake our decision making. They're sort of an automatic response to things, and we immediately take in new information and go, oh, no, I don't like that. Oh, why don't you like it? I don't know, I just don't. That's a bias. Where did that bias come from? Biases aren't in and of themselves a bad thing. It's a shortcut. So your brain's lazy. It wants a shortcut to be able to save energy. But when those biases were formed, they were probably relevant in your life. As you've grown, as the situation has changed, as your context has changed, as your culture has changed, as your position and responsibilities have changed, have your biases? If you haven't examined those biases lately, if you don't know when your automatic response to something is kicking off and you don't have a reason behind it, then you are operating on an outdated operating system. Your mindset is flawed because you have allowed old, antiquated positions and beliefs and biases to impact your decision making, your motivation, and the self-talk that you hear, positive or negative. So next time you have an automatic response for something and you say, oh, I just don't like that, stop for a second. When somebody says something and you have an emotional response, you find yourself responding to it angrily, or something makes you mad or sad, instead of allowing that emotion to drive the next thing you say, there's your great opportunity for some self-awareness. Let's examine what bias or belief or worldview has just been touched. What has been affected right now? And how is it affecting my mindset? How is it affecting my ability to make decisions? How is it pushing me into a fixed or a growth mindset? That's an opportunity to become increasingly self-aware and a better leader. Mindset is really all about how are you poised to receive information, process it, and put it into action. You have choices, and that choice is going to be affected by how much work you put into making your mindset ready for success. Thanks for listening. This is Eagle Insight.